Midpoint theorem. Theorem of midpoints of two sides of a triangle. The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. Given in triangle ABC, point P is the midpoint of segment AB and point Q is the midpoint of segment AC. You have to prove segment PQ is parallel to segment BC and PQ is equal to half of BC. Here the two sides are AB and AC and the third side is taken to be BC. So we have to prove segment PQ is the line joining the line segment joining the midpoints of side AB and side AC respectively. So now you have to prove that segment PQ is parallel to segment BC, parallel to the third side segment BC, and PQ is equal to half of the third side BC. For this we have to make a construction. You have to produce segment PQ up to R such that PQ is equal to QR. Look at figure 5.34. Produce segment PQ up to R such that PQ is equal to QR. Now draw segment RC. Now coming to the proof. You have two triangles AQP and CQR. Segment PQ is congruent to segment QR by our construction. Segment AQ is congruent to segment QC is given. Angle AQP is congruent to angle CQR because they are vertically opposite angles. Therefore, these two triangles are congruent by SAS test. Now we can see the corresponding angles of congruent triangles and corresponding sides of congruent triangles. We want angle PAQ and angle RCQ. So we are selecting that. Angle PAQ is congruent to angle RCQ, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Keep it as equation 1. And segment AP is congruent to segment CR as corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Keep it as equation number 2. Now you have angle PAQ is congruent to angle RCQ by equation 1. Now you can apply the alternate angles test and say that line AB is parallel to line CR because these two angles are alternate angles. And alternate angles are congruent here. So we can apply the alternate angles test and say the lines are parallel. Line AB is parallel to line CR. Now from equation 2, that is segment AP is congruent to segment CR. Now segment AP is congruent to segment PB. Look at the figure because P is the midpoint of segment AB and it is congruent to segment CR and segment PB is parallel to segment CR. See, from equation 2 we have segment AP is congruent to segment CR. In between we can introduce segment PB because segment AP is congruent to segment PB because P is the midpoint of segment AB. So connecting all these you can write segment AP is congruent to segment PB is congruent to segment CR. Therefore we have segment PB is congruent to segment CR. And also we have segment PB is parallel to segment CR. Therefore, quadrilateral PBCR is a parallelogram. The opposite sides are parallel as well as congruent. So, quadrilateral PBCR is a parallelogram. Now since it is a parallelogram, we can write segment PQ is parallel to segment BC, and the same because PBCR is a parallelogram, we can write segment PQ is parallel to segment BC. Because PR is parallel to BC and PQ is part of it. So PQ also will be, because Q lies between P and R, we can write PQ is parallel to BC. And also PR is equal to BC. Opposite sides of the parallelogram are congruent. PQ is equal to half of PR by our construction. Therefore, PQ can be written as half of BC. Instead of PR, we can write BC, because since PR is equal to BC. So, we have proved the midpoint theorem. We have proved that the segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. Now coming to the converse of midpoint theorem. If a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side. For this theorem, given to prove construction is given below. You have to try to write the proof. Given point D is the midpoint of side AB of triangle ABC. Line L passing through the point D and parallel to side BC intersects side AC in point E. To prove AE is equal to EC. This is the vice versa of the midpoint theorem. The given part will be what is to be proved, and what is to be proved will be the given part here from the midpoint theorem. So this is the vice versa of the midpoint theorem. So we have to prove AE is equal to EC. That means we have to prove E is the midpoint of AC. For this, take the construction like this. Take point F on line L such that E lies between D and F and DE is equal to EF. Draw segment CF. For the proof, use the construction and line L is parallel to segment BC, which is given. Prove that triangle ADE is congruent to triangle CFE and complete the proof. Now coming to the solved examples. Example 1. Points E and F are midpoints of segment AB and segment AC of triangle ABC respectively. If EF is equal to 5.6, then find the length of BC. In triangle ABC, points E and F are midpoints of sides AB and side AC respectively. We can apply the midpoint theorem. In the midpoint theorem, the second part you have the wordings half of it. The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of the triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. So now EF will be the segment joining the midpoints of sides AB and AC. So it is half of the third side. So half of BC. BC is the third side here. So EF is equal to half of BC. The reason is by midpoint theorem. Now substitute the value. EF is equal to 5.6. So 5.6 is equal to half of BC. Half multiplied by BC. Keep BC on one side, take half to the other side. So it becomes 2 goes to the numerator, 1 goes to the denominator when it is taken to the other side. So 5.6 multiplied by 2, which is otherwise 11.2 units. Now coming to the second example. Prove that the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of sides of a quadrilateral in order is a parallelogram. Look at figure 5.37. You are given ABCD is a quadrilateral. P, Q, R, S are midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD and AD respectively. To prove quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. For this, draw a construction. Draw diagonal BD. In triangle ABD, the midpoint of side AD is S and the midpoint of side AB is P. Now look at the figure. Apply the midpoint theorem. What is the midpoint theorem? The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. Once again I repeat, the segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. In triangle ABD, S is the midpoint of side AD and P is the midpoint of side AB. Therefore, by midpoint theorem, PS will be parallel to the third side, which is DB, and PS is equal to half of third side, which is BD. So half of BD. PS is equal to half of BD. So you get PS is parallel to DB and PS is equal to half of BD. You take this to be equation number 1. Now similarly, in triangle DBC, point Q is the midpoint of side BC and point R is the midpoint of side DC respectively. So we have, by midpoint theorem, QR is parallel to the third side BD and QR is equal to half of BD. QR is the line segment which is joining the midpoints of the sides BC and DC respectively. And the third side will be BD. So QR is parallel to BD and QR is equal to half of BD by midpoint theorem. Take this to be equation number 2. Now from equations 1 and 2, now let me read equation 1 and 2 together. PS is parallel to DB and QR is parallel to same DB. So we can write PS is parallel to QR. And PS is equal to half of BD. QR is also equal to half of BD. On the right hand side we have half of BD, half of BD. So the left hand sides are equal. So PS is equal to QR. So we get PS is parallel to QR and PS is equal to QR from equations 1 and 2. Now look at the figure. Look where PS is. Look where QR is. PS is parallel to QR and PS is equal to QR. The opposite sides are parallel and congruent at the same time. So the quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. Now coming to question number 1. In practice set 5.5, page number 73. You have to take practice set 5.5 in page number 73. Now see the question number 1. All of you should write all these in the notebook. Question number 1. In the adjoining figure, points X, Y and Z are the midpoints of triangle ABC respectively. Find the lengths of side AB, side BC and side AC. AB is equal to 5 centimeters. Sorry, that sentence has to be removed. Find the lengths of side AB, side BC and side AC because the lengths are given. So that is not required. Look at the textbook and read it properly. Once again reading. Points X, Y, Z are the midpoints of side AB, side BC and side AC of triangle ABC respectively. AB is equal to 5 centimeters, AC is equal to 9 centimeters and BC is equal to 11 centimeters. Find the length of XY, YZ and XZ. Now look at the figure. Figure is given 5.38 in your book. Figure 5.38 in the textbook. So now see the solution. AC is equal to 9 centimeters is given. Points X and Y are midpoints of sides AB and BC respectively is given. Therefore, XY XY will be equal to half of AC. XY will be equal to half of AC in triangle ABC. So you can write in the beginning, in triangle ABC, XY is equal to half of AC by midpoint theorem. You have to write in triangle ABC, XY is equal to half of AC by midpoint theorem. Theorem spelling is THEOREM. That is equal to half multiplied by 9. That is 9 upon 2, which is 4.5 centimeters. Now coming to the second one, AB is equal to 5 centimeters is given. Points Y and Z are the midpoints of sides BC and AC respectively. Therefore, in triangle ABC, YZ is equal to half of AB, half of the third side AB, because we have taken the line segment YZ. So it is equal to half of AB. The third side is AB. By midpoint theorem, YZ is equal to half of AB. That is equal to half of 5. That is equal to 2.5 centimeters. Now coming to the third one. BC is equal to 11 centimeters is given. Points X and Z are midpoints of sides AB and AC respectively. It is also given. Therefore, the line segment joining the two sides AB and AC is XZ. It is equal to half of the third side. Here the third side will, if you take the line segment XZ, the third side will be BC. So, by midpoint theorem we get XZ is equal to half of BC. That is half multiplied by 11. 11 upon 2 is 5.5 centimeters. Now coming to question number 2. Quadrilateral PQRS and quadrilateral MNRL are rectangles. If point M is the midpoint of side PR, then prove that SL is equal to LR and LN is equal to half of SQ. Two things are there to be proved. Now look at the figure. Figure is given. Now given what is given, what is to be proved, everything has to be written. Given quadrilateral PQRS and quadrilateral MNRL are rectangles. M is the midpoint of side PR. To prove SL is equal to LR and LN is equal to half of SQ. Now coming to the proof. Quadrilateral PQRS and quadrilateral MNRL are rectangles. It is given. Therefore, measure of angle S is equal to measure of angle L is equal to 90 degrees because they are angles of rectangles. Angle S and angle L form a pair of corresponding angles on sides SP and LM where SR is their transversal. Look at the figure. Angle S and angle L form a pair of corresponding angles on sides SP and LM when SR is their transversal. So you get a figure like this. When you take from the original figure, you will get a figure like this. So you can apply corresponding angles test and write ML is parallel to segment PS. Segment ML is parallel to segment PS. Segment spelling is wrong here. Correct is SEG. Segment ML is parallel to segment PS because of corresponding angles test. Now in triangle PRS, point M is the midpoint of PR and segment ML is parallel to segment PS is given. That is from equation 1. Therefore, point L is the midpoint of segment SR. Take it to be equation number 2. By converse of midpoint theorem. You know the converse of midpoint theorem. If a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side. Once again, repeat the converse of midpoint theorem. If a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side. The difference between the midpoint theorem and converse of midpoint theorem is, in the midpoint theorem we will be taking two midpoints. in the statement. But here we are taking one midpoint. If a line drawn to the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, one midpoint we take and parallel to the other side we are saying, then it bisects the third side. If a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side is the converse of midpoint theorem. So here we are having point M as the midpoint of PR, only one midpoint we are having, and segment ML is parallel to segment PS we are having. So we can apply the converse of midpoint theorem here and say the other point L is the midpoint of segment SR. Therefore, since L is the midpoint of segment SR, we can write SL is equal to LR. Now coming to the second part, we have to prove Ln is equal to half of SQ. So from the original figure, I have cropped the figure. You will get such a figure. Similarly, for triangle PRQ, we can prove that point N is the midpoint of segment QR. Take it to be the third equation. So we are having point N to be the midpoint of segment QR. Take it to be the third equation. In triangle RSQ, points L and N are midpoints of segment SR and segment QR respectively. That is from equations 2 and 3. Equation 2 tells point L is the midpoint of segment SR and equation 3 tells point N is the midpoint of segment QR. So we have two midpoints now, L and N. So we can apply the midpoint theorem for this triangle and say that the line segment joining the midpoints, that is Ln, is equal to half of the third side. That is half of the third side is SQ here. Now coming to the third one. In the adjoining figure, triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Points F, D and E are midpoints of side AB, side BC, side AC respectively. Show that triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Given triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle, points F, D and E are midpoints of side AB, side BC, side AC respectively. To prove triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Coming to the proof. Triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle is given. Therefore, AB is equal to BC is equal to AC. Take it to be the first equation because they are sides of an equilateral triangle. All the three sides are congruent. So we have AB is equal to BC is equal to AC. Points F, D and E are midpoints of side AB and BC respectively. So in that triangle we have FD is equal to, in triangle ABC we have FD is equal to half of AC. Take it to be the second equation. This is by midpoint theorem. Similarly, you can apply the midpoint theorem once again for points D and E which are midpoints of sides BC and AC respectively. Therefore, DE will become equal to half of the third side which is AB. Take it to be the third equation. Similarly, when points F and E are midpoints of sides AB and AC respectively, you will have FE is equal to half of the third side which is BC now by midpoints theorem. Therefore, from equations, the last equation you have to take it as equation number 4. So, from equations 1, 2, 3 and 4 we get FD is equal to DE is equal to FE because in the first equation you have AB is equal to BC is equal to AC. So, half of AC is equal to half of AB is equal to half of BC also. So, the right hand sides of equation 2, 3 and 4 are becoming equal. So, the left hand sides are also equal. So, FD is equal to DE is equal to FE. You have to write the last statement. I have not mentioned. You have to mention it. Hence, we prove that triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Now, coming to question number 4. Segment PD is the median of triangle PQR. Point T is the midpoint of segment PD. You have to prove PM upon PR is equal to 1 upon 3. You have to make the construction. Draw segment DN parallel to segment QN. Because we are concentrating on the converse of midpoint theorem and so on, and midpoint theorem. So, you have to have a triangle the line joining the two sides. You should have the line joining the two sides for any triangle. So you are drawing segment DN parallel to segment QN such that M lies between P and N lies between M and R. So coming to the proof, in triangle PDN, point T is the midpoint of segment PD and segment TM is parallel to segment DN is given. Therefore, point M is the midpoint of segment PN. By construction and also since Q lies between Q and M. Since point M is the midpoint of segment PN, we can write, look at the figure, we can write PM is equal to MN by the converse of midpoint theorem. I have told you already, for the converse of midpoint theorem, you should have one midpoint and parallelism. If that is given, then you can apply the converse of midpoint theorem. So here we get PM is equal to half of the third side, PM is equal to MN. Because M is the midpoint of segment PN, PM is equal to MN. In triangle QMR, point D is the midpoint of segment QR and segment DN is parallel to segment QM according to a construction. So if I take a part of the figure from there, you will get such a diagram. So from here, you see in this triangle QMR, point N is the midpoint of segment MR by the converse of midpoint theorem. Because you have one midpoint D and segment DN is parallel to segment QM according to the construction. So if there is one midpoint and parallelism, then you can apply converse of midpoint theorem. So you get the other midpoint. What is the other midpoint? N. N to be the midpoint of segment MR because of the converse of midpoint theorem. Now take pick out triangle QMR. When you take triangle QMR, point D is the midpoint of segment QR and segment DN is parallel to segment QM according to our construction. So you get, here also we have to apply the converse of midpoint theorem only because we have only one midpoint and parallelism. So point N is the midpoint of segment MR. So we can write, looking at the figure, we can write since N is the midpoint of segment MR, Rn is equal to Mn. Take it to be the second equation. Therefore, PM is equal to Mn is equal to Rn from equations 1 and 2. Combine equations 1 and 2, you will get PM is equal to Mn is equal to Rn. Now, what is PR? PR is equal to, because we want to prove PM upon PR is equal to 1 upon 3 finally. So now we can introduce PR. Now PR can be split up as PM plus Mn plus Rn because P hyphen M hyphen R and put and in between, and is missing and hyphen is put. Otherwise put a comma in between. And Q hyphen T hyphen N. Now PR can be written as, here the reason should be written like this. P hyphen M hyphen N hyphen R. Write properly. That is wrong. So PR is equal to PM plus Mn plus Rn because the reason will be P hyphen M hyphen N hyphen R. Therefore, PR is equal to PM plus PM because of equation 3. Because in equation 3, Mn is also equal to PM, Rn is also equal to PM. So, we can replace Mn and Rn by PM. So, PR will become PM plus PM plus PM, which is otherwise 3 PM. Now, do the interchanging. Bring 3 to the other side. Bring PR to the other side. You will get PM upon PR is equal to 1 upon